Let's look at Chapter 7, Lesson 3, Practice, Exploring Fractions with Rods. Use the rods to answer these questions. If W cubed is 1, then our rod is what? So I know that R has 2 W's in it. So that means it would be 1 plus 1, or 2. If G rod is 1, then what's R? So G has 2 or 3 W's, and this has 2 W's. But this whole thing equals 1, so it's 1/3 for each piece. So 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3. And this only has 2 of those, so it would just be 1/3 plus 1/3, which equals 2/3. Let's look at number 3. If the rod for R is 1, then what's W? So this is 1 whole right here, and W is half of that, so it would be 1/2. If W is 1, then what's O? So if you look down here, we need to figure out how many W's are in O. I can do that by looking at all of the rods. So W, there's 1, then there's 2 in R, 3 in G, 4 in P, 5 in Y, 6 in D, 7 in K, 8 in N, 9 in E, and 10 in O. So if there are 10 W's, that would be 10 ones, which would equal 10. Let's look at number 5. If R is 1, then what's Y? So I know that R is going to be 1, and it has 2 of those. And I know that I can cut these all up. This had 2, 3, 4, this has 5. And I can think about that as there would be 1 right here, 2, and then 1 left over. So it'd be 2.5. Let's look at number 6. It says if O is 1, then what's Y? So I have O and Y. O is 1, and Y is half of 1, which would be half. For number 7, if G is 1, then what's K? So I have 2 full ones in here because G is 3 and K is 7. So that would take care of that with 2 full ones, but then I have 1 left over, which means I have 1/3. So I have 2 and 1/3 left over. The reason why it's 1/3 is that I have 1 left. So I have 7 divided by 3. It goes in 2 times. 1 is left over out of how many? 3. So 2 and 1/3. Let's look at the test prep. Tom bought 3 CDs. Each CD cost $17.99, including tax. Which is the best estimate for the cost of CDs? Remember, we know our 5s and our 10s really well. So I need to estimate $17.99 to the closest 5 or the closest 10. And so that would be 15 or 20. And I know that 15 is not as close as what 20 would be, because $17.99 is almost $18, which is closest to 20. So I would take 20 times 3 in order to get an estimated amount, and I know that that is 60. Number 9, Evan's family ate 5/8 of the pizza. How much of the pizza was left? So I'm going to color in 5 pieces. So I know that 3 pieces were left, 3 out of 8.